Hey guys, Los Cuatro Pelados here. Just a disclaimer, I am going to start off by reading something. Not just because I can't remember it, but because it's a little heavy. And I think it's a great intro to what we're going to be talking about today. So buckle up. In 2024 alone, nearly 50,000 people died in the U.S. by suicide. Over 75% of them were men, and most of them never told anyone they were struggling. They didn't ask for help, not because they didn't want to live, but because the world told them they had to be strong, silent, stoic. And in 2025, we're still battling the same stigma, and the numbers show it today. This month, in the month of June, is Men's Mental Health Month. And today, we're going to talk about something that's often too ignored. As a disclaimer, again, we're not therapists, we're not doctors, but we're men, and we know what it's like to bottle things up, to feel the pressure to just man up. So this episode is for the guys who smiled through the pain, who said, I'm good, when they actually weren't, who struggled in silence. So let's talk about it. Let's break the silence. This is our episode of Men's Mental Health. All right. So kind of a different turn today, right?
Yeah.
Just bringing some awareness. Did you guys know that 1 in 10 men experience depression or anxiety? But most won't tell anyone. Many don't even know that they're struggling. I think that's mind blowing, you know?
Yeah.
Because it becomes like a norm to them. It's just, well, it's okay. Like I can deal with this. Nothing's wrong.
The expectation of carry the weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then I think most of us are being like growing up, we're taught that we're providers, protectors, and ultimately tough guys, right? But what happens when that weight becomes too much? So this is kind of just to kind of put our thoughts out there and bring awareness to these issues that we face, right?
You're not alone, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And it's one of those things to where, like, just because you're vulnerable, it doesn't mean that you're weak.
No, it really doesn't. And hearing the stat you gave earlier, it's kind of surprising considering that most guys, they won't even show it. Like, it's a little alarming, to be honest.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, yeah. All you guys have had a father. Me was raised with a single mother, was taught to man up, grow up, stuff like that. Like, seas hombre, because you're a man now. You have to. So, yeah, I can see. I can relate a lot with this as well.
I think one thing that I think we all got to realize is like, we're still human, right? Mm-hmm. Like men are human too. We go through emotions. We go through stuff. And it's okay to talk about this stuff. We get that ideology that we can't talk about it because I have to be strong for my family, my wife, my kids, my mom, whatever situation you're in.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's not good to bottle that stuff up and keep it building up.
I think about how much pressure that is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's tough because you're carrying, you're expected to carry the weight, and you're expected not to question it, or not to nag about it. You know what I mean? Certain situations where if somebody else turns around, whether it's your wife or your parents when you were little, or anybody else for that matter, that says, I thought you were a man, you know what I mean? Or I thought you were tough, or you know what I mean?
It's not, and also it's not just with like the culture as well. Like, I mean, like a group of friends too, you also want to show them that you're tough and you're brave, and you don't, life is all awesome and great, that you don't want to show any emotions. You don't want to show like any weakness, what they call it. You want to show that, what is that? The alpha of your personality, yourself. So yeah, I mean, I don't think everybody is alone with that point. Because
and you're right. I mean, that touches on a very important factor, that the stigma and the social pressure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, we're all taught early that if we show emotions, it's a problem.
Yes.
You know, it's just a roadblock in our way, and we got to move that. We can't be entertaining that. You know, so like you said, we hear things from friends, from family members.
Mm-hmm.
Stop crying, don't be a girl. Shoot, I remember my dad. I was getting my ass beat one time by my best friend, and I was like, dude, I don't want to be here, man. Like, I just want to go inside. And my dad's like, you're not coming inside. I'm like, what do you mean I'm not coming inside? He's like, you got to man up.
Yeah.
You go take care of your business. If you don't take care of it, you can't come inside. And I'm like, damn, that's a lot of pressure.
How old were you?
Oh, bro, I was like 9.
Think about how much pressure that is at 9 years old.
Yeah.
To be told, hey, you're gonna handle this right now, and you're gonna learn this lesson.
Yeah.
At 9, and then moving forward from 9 years old on forward, like you're living under that expectation.
Yeah. And see, there's people that don't deal with it, right? They don't.
Yeah.
They just bottle it up. They don't. They don't break it. They don't let it out, right? I'm glad that. I mean, I was like a kid. My brother was fine. Our best friends were our neighbors, and he had a problem with his friend. I had a mild problem with mine. So my friend was like, "Hey, we should fight," and I'm like, "Dude, I'm a lover, man, not a fighter. Like, I don't want to do this." But it was flight or fight that day, bro. And I was like, "Well, I can't be a puss in front of my dad, you know. That's a lot of pressure for like a 9-year-old." I'm like, so I went up to my friend. I'm like, "Hey, man, love you, bro, but I gotta beat your ass if I can't come inside if I can't do it."
Yeah.
And the worst part was he was beating me with a chain, bro. That's the thing that got on my nerve, because I'm like, this is not even a fair fight.
Nah.
Yeah. So
That's wild.
yeah. So I mean, we all hear it, right? Feelings are soft. And so how soft is it if you face your pain and try to heal it? You know, I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think as times progressed, seeing how I think our past family members have handled stuff and how we are now, times have changed. You know, it's normal to get help. It's normal to talk about stuff.
And it's acceptable.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be met with this thought that you're weak or that you're incapable of handling pressure, or it doesn't make you less of a man just because you asked for help.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that I think that's something that as men we have to realize, and we have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where, yes, now it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to let out what you feel, what your thoughts and everything. But we also do got to realize that there are a lot of groups, whether it's culturally, whether it's systematic, or just how you were raised, where people don't see it that way, and it's something that needs to be broken. Because I mean, just bottling that shit up it's not healthy.
And I think it's a generational thing. It's been coming down from generations where you can't show weakness.
Yeah.
Because if you show weakness, it's like they look down upon you. But it's quite the opposite. I think if you show your feelings, that's where you show, strong character.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And and that's the thing is you, like you said, it like going back. I mean, my dad's father and his father before that, all lived under a certain expectation, and you just come to realize nowadays, in the way that you're living, the way you're, I feel like as the generations progress, you break out of certain things. You break generational curses. You break out of the things that were not okay then and are still not okay today. Because just because it was back then doesn't mean that it was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just the way that they were taught,
Yeah, and just because you couldn't ask for help then doesn't mean that you could have not asked for help. Like, somebody could have broken through that and just caused a big chain reaction in how their sons grew up, and their sons and daughters, and so on and so forth. I mean, like, the fathers we are today, and the fathers that we're gonna be, and the fathers that you're gonna be in the future, play a role in you play a role with how you're gonna handle that and how you're gonna bring that change.
Yeah, yeah, and most definitely. And then you know what's crazy? Talking about feelings and showing, for your future for your kids and stuff, but also showing your parents, right? You get to show your parents like, hey, it's okay to show feelings, and they slowly learn that it's okay. I mean, my dad was, one of them. It's like, oh, I got to be the man, and it's like not like that, man. Like it's okay to your wife, your girlfriend or whatever, they're there to support you.
Yeah.
And if you have a good support system, that's a key to success.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, personal question, since you touched on that. Do you feel like that's changed with your dad?
100%, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I speak to him and be like, man, like, the way you were raised 40, 50, 60 years ago, it's not how we do it now. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to go to your spouse and be like, hey, this is going on, and I'm going to open up to you without being judged. Right.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like he's been like, at heart, his heart has become softer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that, it's for men back then, it was like almost like a crime if you showed feelings.
Yeah.
So it's like, now it's like, we can teach our parents that, we can teach our kids that it's okay to have feelings, and it's not a sign of weakness, but a sign of strength.
Yeah.
That's true. That, or they'd question your sexuality, which is
crazy. No,
yeah.
it's true. It's
true.
like, oh,
It's true, yeah.
you're pareces una vieja, It's like, no, it's just like
Guilty.
No, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not that way. It's just different. You view life at a different. You have a different point of view. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a way different point of view that your parents had, or your father has had, or any male figure. So the point is to transcend those bridges and cut the ties with assuming weaknesses. Having feelings is weak. So it's like you just got to move on. Like, it's okay.
What about you guys? I mean, I know you don't have your dad, but you have your mom,
right?
And you have your dad and both your parents, right? How do you guys see a change, or was there ever that, I guess, that confianza?
Nah. Nah, my dad was my dad's a through and through provider, bro. I talked to my mom about that, and other people that try to just understand who my dad was and who my dad is. I mean, but like, he was his way of showing love was always like providing.
Yeah.
Like, here's what I put on the table. The fact that I can tell you, hey, go into my backpack, grab my wallet, take out $40, go have fun, you know what I mean? Or something like that. You're like little things like that. That was his way of showing love.
Yeah.
He's not much of a hugger. Now he is, you know what I mean?
But I feel like you probably taught him that, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he sees the kind of love you have with your daughter, and he's like, okay, maybe I could do something different with my child, even though you're already a grown ass man.
My nieces, I think, are the ones that really pulled through with softening him up pretty good, because my daughter and my nieces for sure did that for him, and I think that honestly that kind of sounds like God's plan, because otherwise it would have just been another generation of men, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of manly men and a different thought process for me. You know what I mean? So being a girl dad was a and is a huge blessing in disguise.
Yeah. I definitely feel you on that.
Same, because I didn't have a dad, but with me, I think my mom as well had trauma when she was a kid. A little small story. She was 10 years old when both of her parents passed away, so she didn't have both parents, and obviously, I didn't have a dad as that, but my mom was a father and a mother figure for me because she played both roles. And I'll shout out to her because I can't imagine doing that at all. But yeah, my mom, she's just a mom, didn't know what to do, but to be super strict. And that was her way of protecting, providing. And I think the lack of not having a father figure, her way of is what she learned from the outside was sas hombre, stuff like that. What have she seen with her siblings, maybe? So yeah, and then she was still tough when I got older. She was, still like, don't show your emotions, and I will admit I do struggle. Not as much, but I learn and I cope by grace of God, honestly, because I would hold that in a lot. I wouldn't talk about it. I wouldn't show anything. I would show tough. Now, I've learned and cope with it, and I've taught my mom, like, it's okay. And my mom's she has grandkids and stuff like that, and she has loosened up a lot, which it is okay. Where I tell her it is okay, it's okay, because I have a nephew that's 12 years old. He's going to that teenager stage, and we all been there where we're so emotional. At the same time, we want to, we just don't know how to control our emotions at that age. Our hormones are everywhere. All you want to do, stuff like it's inappropriate, but. But I mean, the reality is, you don't know. I mean,
being a teenager,
it's just being a teenager thing. So my sisters is also coping with that as well. So they come and ask me, talk to me, and I try to give them advice, which I'm grateful that I can actually learn as that process goes, as teaching at the same time. And I tell my nephew, I'm like, look, it's okay to cry. There's no need to man up. You're not proving nobody here.
Right.
There's no need. Cry. Express your feelings because it's really important. Like, I've been through that where I would sit in my room and grab my pillow and cry and yell through it. And then 5 minutes come out like nothing happened. And show oh, I'm fine. I'm ready, and just shut myself down. So yeah, I mean, it is tough, and we're slowly changing.
Yeah,
things are changing, and it doesn't happen overnight. But
no, it doesn't. It takes time.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw it with our dad. I mean, when he was still with us, I think, like I said, when we were younger, he was very hard on us with stuff. Mm-hmm. But as we started getting older, I mean, I'd still get my cheeks beat by him with the cincho.
Yeah.
But then he'd cry and get vulnerable with me. And he's like, this hurts me more than it hurts you. Yeah. I didn't understand at the time, but seeing it now, I see he was pouring out his feelings, right? So I'm like, it was nice to see that. I mean, not at the moment. Under different circumstances would be nice, right? But you did see a change of heart in him. I feel like. I don't know if you want to. I mean, you're my brother. I mean, you live with me, so.
Yeah, but see, your experience was a little bit more different since you were the one always getting your ass beat.
The troublemaker.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
No, I was, man. Believe it or not, I look chill, but I would start stuff just to entertain myself, bro.
Damn,
that's very true.
I
can be a witness on that.
Yes, he can tell you all the times where Beto would just instigate and get in trouble, and yeah, but I mean, from my experience, it was a little bit different since I wasn't the one getting my ass beat. It was more learning how to bottle things up. Because you also got to look at it from a perspective of me being the oldest guy out of four kids, I was always with my dad, whenever he had to go to his treatments.
Mhm.
Like it was either be with him to go to dialysis or when he was working in the small shop that he was building furniture out of. Like I was always with him. I didn't grow up like Beto or our youngest brother being able to, play with the neighbors as much, as they did. So, I mean, for me, it was more of learning how to bottle everything up, just, man up essentially. So,
Yeah. But I think I still have some of those traits though. Like,
yeah, you did too.
I mean, I saw it when he passed away.
Yeah.
Right. So like, I don't like crying in front of nobody. That's one of my things. And I will cry in silence. And I remember I got married, and like the first week I got married, I started crying. And Margarita's like, "Hey, are you okay?" I'm like, "Just leave me alone. Leave me alone. Like I don't want to be bugged. I don't want to be." She's like, "Well, what's wrong with you?" I'm like, it's hitting me. Like I haven't had time to grieve.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like I bottled it up. We had family issues that we were dealing with, right? So like I see that, and then even now, like it's still I'm trying to get rid of it, but it's still like embedded in my brain where we'll go to his the cemetery and go see his tomb for like special days, Father's Day, his birthday, the day he passes away. And Margarita's like bawling her eyes out. She's like, "Beto, do you want to say anything?" I'm like, "No." Like I'll go by myself, like after work, and I'll tell her, "Hey, I got out late, but I'll go to the cemetery and I'll
Let it out.
let it out, because it's I don't like showing that to anybody,
No.
and it's
Relate.
a thing that I don't want to look weak,
Yeah.
and I don't want her to feel like, oh, this guy can't control his emotions,
Cheat on.
No.
Yeah,
Completely
Yeah, no,
get
stuff
that.
like that. But
Yeah.
I totally understand on that.
yeah, and I mean, it all looks different, right, on how people cope with this stuff.
But honest truth, like, and to everybody listening, to all of us here in the room, like, it takes courage to admit that you're not okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
100%, bro. That's you're brave whenever you do that, bro. To me, that's like you're being brave. Like
You're a hero.
You're
honestly, because
you're
Yeah.
exposing
true
yourself.
strength.
Yeah, you're exposing yourself, bro. And
Yeah.
not everybody is willing to do that.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? And Pedro, you said something awesome. And I'm gonna just say it on here because I think it needs to be said. Shout out to all the moms that take a father figure role.
Oh, definitely.
That's amazing.
100%.
And thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
From the bottom of our hearts, whether you hear it from the most random person or anyone. Thank you.
And it doesn't go unnoticed.
yes, for sure.
It's a great thing, and just the pressure they go with,
Oh,
that's I can't imagine that. But it does take courage. I don't know if you guys struggled during COVID, when that happened.
I got divorced during COVID, so that was pretty tough.
Yeah. See,
A divorce and being locked up in the house, bro. That's crazy.
no, it is.
No, I mean I'm being serious, man.
I
Like,
was one of those. I was part of that statistic. That's what was crazy.
that's a whole lot of depression, bro. No, I'm like being
It
dead
hit me.
ass.
It hit me.
No.
Yeah, I got depressed.
Yeah,
I got depressed.
yeah.
Mad depressed, bro. But I had a good support system around.
And that's my next point right there. Having a support system and someone that is there, or several people that are there and won't judge you, and just listen.
Yep.
That is probably the best thing that you can have.
Or even just sit there with you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
and give you the space to be like, hey, bro, like, look, you do what you have to do. Sometimes it's not crying. Sometimes it's different emotions, right? Sometimes it shows different. It's not always gonna be, you know what I mean? There's no telltale sign of like depression.
No.
You know what I mean? I mean, like, there maybe could be for those who know how to discern it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? More than others. Like, hey, like, you start noticing odd behavior, different behavior. Like, hey, you're not really the kind of person that does that. Like,
Yeah.
is something going on? Are you all right? Like, talk to me.
That is true. No, yeah, COVID. I get you, man. Like, I'm happy you had a great support system. It took me conversations with Margarita. Not saying that she didn't believe me or anything, but she's the type that I was in school, you know, I was doing the full-time work, full-time school.
Yeah.
So she was that type that did full-time school, full-time work. And she's like, Beto, this is easy. Like, you're just limiting yourself. And I'm like, Mad, I can't. Like, I had to sit down with her and have like a 2-hour conversation to let her know, like, I'm not good. Like, I feel depressed. I go to work. I'm there 8 hours, 9 hours a day looking at a computer. I don't have that hour break. I mean, I say an hour break, but I used to live right across the office where I worked at. But I didn't have like that 30-minute walk where I can just go home.
Decompress.
Like, decompress, forget about everything. Enjoy my meal, you know, my dinner with my wife, and then go at it again. It was pretty much work, 8 hours, looking at a screen, eat, and chingarle pretty much in school. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, Mad, I can't do this. And she's like, well, what's going on with you? I'm like, I don't care for life. Like, that's how bad it's getting. And she's like, okay, well, are you going to drop a class? I'm like, I'm dropping all my classes. I don't care. Like, I care more about my mental being than not being there in a few years.
I mean, you did something about it.
Yeah.
That's the important part.
Yeah.
Talking with your spouse about that takes a lot of bravery.
Yeah. And I mean, she understood. I mean, at first she's like, Beto, like, it's easy. Like, there's nothing wrong with this. But I'm like, you got to understand the circumstances we're in right now. Like, we can't go out. Like, I'm here 24 hours a day. And I enjoy being with you. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not here with you because I'm literally working school. That's all I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I sleep with you like 8 hours a day. You know?
And probably whenever you're there, you're not really there.
No, I wasn't. So she understood. She's like, Beto, I get it, you know? And she's like, take the time, take the semester. And I decompress, let it go, and then vámonos otra vez, you know? But I needed that time because, I mean, if I didn't do anything, I don't think.
Best thing you could have done.
Yeah.
I mean, you looked out for yourself at that point.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't have done that, you would have been in a worse position. Like, who knows what would have happened?
Exactly. So,
I mean, you would have finished school faster, but whatever.
I mean, yeah, I would have been 2023.
I mean, that's the best case scenario, but yeah. I mean.
Shout out to Albert. We would have been done a little. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding. That's
I'm just glad those nights are over.
Yeah. And just for clarity, I didn't use it for everything. It was just explanations here that I couldn't get my mind around. Anyways, yeah,
but I mean, I will say, like, in personally, in my depression, one thing that I did do is I became a bit of a workaholic.
So you threw yourself
into work. I threw myself
that's
into
like
work.
The worst thing you can probably do, but that's how you coped.
Yeah.
And it was like I couldn't have my mind go anywhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was work. Whether at the time it was a little bit of a split because I was working a manufacturing job at the time. So it was like
physical.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was like whether they were like, it's optional if you want to come in, I was in. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I would just go. I needed to be busy.
Yeah.
But I was numb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was numb. I was in my headspace was all fogged up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, that's understandable. I mean, people throw themselves into work, drugs, alcohol.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just one of those things that you just really, to be honest, man, like it goes back to like having the right people around you and them listening. And I mean, I don't know if you're religious or not, to the people listening, but I mean, talking to God, man, that's leaning on him and learning and trying to, have him guide your way.
Yeah.
It's a big help.
And avoiding, bro. I mean, I personally said, like, to everybody around me, bro, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home. I got stuff to do. I got my daughter tonight, even if I didn't.
Yeah.
You withdrew yourself from the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's all like, nah, I'm busy. I'm good. I gotta work, or I'm tired. You know what I mean? And then you go home and those were some of the different masks that I used to wear.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, and this is just for perspective, right? Those masks that you would put on, was it more for lack of trust in the person on your vulnerability, or was it just?
I just got to a point where I didn't want to have anything to do with anybody, and I think a lot of people go through that. You know what I mean? A lot of people just want to kind of just shut themselves down to the whole thing. You just want to be alone. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what it is.
I'm my own safe space kind of type. Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But it's that's also very dangerous.
Yeah.
No, super dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because you don't got anybody to talk to, bro.
exactly. And you're in your own feelings, you're in your own thoughts.
Yeah.
And if those thoughts get to you,
Exactly.
you know what I mean, like it's scary. It's a scary place to be in.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, a lot like I said, I've seen a lot of people go through it, you know, and including myself. And it's one of those things that there's always light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so
I think that's what brings up the silent epidemic, right? With all this, the pretty hard part that you just can't ignore is like the suicide, right? Men are pretty much more likely, 4 times more likely to die by suicide than women. And then the group is pretty much that they've recorded is about middle-aged men. So anybody between
That's
like
wild.
45 to 64.
That's wild.
Yeah. And I mean, they don't leave notes. I mean, they don't leave signs, warnings. It's just, they've been silent too long. Right. So, and I think we've seen it with some of these like famous people. I mean, people that you see on TV that look like they have the best life in the world. Right. But then you hear, oh man, this guy passed away by suicide, killed himself,
Yeah.
drug overdose, something. Right. And you start to question, like, everyone goes through this, you know, like men, women, but like men go through a lot because they hold it, you know, there's no one to talk to. And it's a result of that because they withdraw from everybody, their loved ones, their friends. I don't know.
that's a good point. But I mean, I've always looked at things, I mean, like life a little bit different. You know, there's always ups and downs, and no matter the situation you're really in, it's like there's someone out there that's always in a shittier situation than you know? So you got to kind of look at the positives, even if they're small, and just slowly take the steps to share your feelings. Like even if it's baby steps, you know, it's, and like, most of us here have, you know, partners, you know, or friends that you can talk to. And I feel like if we open ourselves a little bit more and just, even if it's not with your friends, with your wife, with your girlfriend, whatever, it would be a tremendous thing for your life. You know, it's, you know, you got to take that next step.
Yeah. And I mean, it's going back to Josh's point about like those thoughts, right? Depending what those thoughts tell you. I mean, we kind of touched on it, right? Like we've all thought about it, right? It's scary because I mean, your thoughts
They'll fuck you up, bro.
they'll lead you down a darker hole.
It really does.
Because man, me thinking about like the worst case situations of what can happen this weekend, Margarita, when we go, I don't know, on a family trip and we have no rental now. What's gonna happen? My mind goes down a rabbit hole that I think I'm gonna get jumped and robbed in the middle of, I don't know, Colorado somewhere. So it is kind of scary. And I mean, something I've talked about, I told you guys earlier, touched on it a little bit, like talked with it about Margarita yesterday. Because we're driving up to Fayetteville for the concert. And she's like, so what's, do you guys are really doing mental health? I'm like, yeah, we're going to touch on it. And she started reading kind of like the notes and stuff. And she's like, Beto, have you ever thought about suicide? And I was like, honestly? She's like, yeah.
Just casual. Dang.
And she started like, it went from like a normal conversation to a concerning conversation. And it wasn't, I mean, I wasn't trying to make it awkward, right? But I was just trying to be real with her, like express myself, right? And
Right.
she's like, are those like constant thoughts? And I'm like, nah, they probably come like once or twice a year. Nothing too serious. And she's like, are you thinking about it right now?
Sometimes you just have depressed days, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Exactly. I mean, you don't
It just happens. Like,
you don't see, you're not seeing what you're expecting, right? Because for me personally, like, man, I got this degree. I'm looking for a job, 15 applications pending, 34 rejected. When am I going to get hired? Is there even a reason for me to apply now? Did I waste my time? Am I wasting my time now? You know? Like,
yeah.
And then it doesn't help that the job that you have, I mean, you hate the job. You know, you want to get out, but you can't get out because no one wants you.
But you need it.
I need it because I got bills to pay. I gotta take care of the wife and my dog. You know, so I'm like, me aguanto. You know, like
You handle it.
You can't let those intrusive thoughts.
That's what I'm saying.
man.
Like, it goes from like no one wants to hire me to like, and I'm not saying this is me, right? But I mean, it could be anybody. Does anybody want me? Does this world really need me? I'll just be one less number.
Yeah,
That's how. But that's just a that's.
I mean, that's how
just
people
an example.
think.
Of,
Yeah.
An example of how far your thoughts can
Exactly.
get. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, and in a split second, bro,
Exactly.
it's like bam, 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 bam.
Yeah. So that conversation got weird yesterday, and Margarita's like, I told her, look, you don't got to worry about me. I'm fine. I'm good right now. I'm not thinking about anything. I'm like, most of the time, 363 days out of the year, I'm good.
So,
Like,
out of curiosity, you've never had this conversation, in all the years you've been with Margarita?
No.
Wow. That's
You
insane.
know, like whenever you get those like thoughts, like whenever you go really deep into your mind and start thinking that, at least for me, what I kind of brings me back is count your blessings.
Eso sí.
You know what I'm saying? That brings me back to reality where it's like, okay, it could be worse, but I'm
it
still
is
here.
worse.
Do you want to know why? Great touch on that. Do you want to know why I would never do it?
I don't.
You don't want to know?
Oh no, I don't know why.
You don't want to know why? Okay.
Yeah, I do know. I want to know why.
Two things. I love life. I never want to die. Like,
Which is I think most of us.
yes.
I hope we all feel
Me
that way.
personally, like I think about this too. Like I enjoy seeing. I mean, I'm blind, kind of, right? I wear contacts. I'm almost legally blind, right? But I enjoy seeing life. I enjoy waking up, getting that big fresh breath of air, and I'm like, thank God for another day. You know, I made another day. Second reason I'll never do it. I'm scared of death. I've had moments where I've thought about death, and I feel like I'm gonna just drop dead and die right there just thinking about it too much. So that's why I told Margarita, I'm like, you don't have to worry about me. I'm okay. Like I'm scared of death. I can't go through with it. But I'm like, sadly though, that's just me. Like, it's not the same for everybody else. You know, everyone else goes through something different.
Yeah.
For me, I'm not scared to die. Well, I wasn't scared to die until I had my kid. And, you know, I have thought about it. And there was one time that it got really deep. I don't know if Abada knows about this, if I talked to him, but it's been a couple of years ago that I really considered, because I got really depressed, super depressed. And then I finally had the courage to talk to Carla. And, you know, I'm blessed because she knew what to say at that moment that it made me feel. And she just said, okay, just let's bow our heads and pray. Because I kept telling her, it's not my thoughts I'm listening to anymore. It's that other voice that, and if you know, it's like, it's that little thing, like, it's like the third person of you talking to you. Like, oh, they don't care if you die. No one's good. You're just a dust.
Beto's not gonna miss you.
Yeah. And you know, it's funny because you go through that. You start thinking of each and everybody, and you start thinking, do I really matter in this person's life? do I really matter to, you know, or even like, if I really did that, does my daughter really gonna miss me?
Yeah.
And I jokingly sometimes say, like, well, I turned out okay. My little girl will be okay if I die, if I kill myself, you know? So yeah, I mean, there's times like, you know, it's okay. Even if you're alone, you know, just bow your head and start praying.
And ask for help.
Yes. Ask for help. You know, God would always be there for you no matter what.
The people that love you are
there.
there. You know what I mean? People that care about you.
Even if you don't want to cope about it, like reach out and we'll, you know, you have a friend out there that, you know, sometimes they like distance themselves. Reach out. Be like, hey, man, haven't heard from you in a minute. You good? Because it does matter. I mean, a couple of months ago, and I don't know if I told Josh, he did that. I got a little depressed, a little stress in life, you know, like we all men go through, you know, and he randomly threw me a text. He's like, hey, man, I was just thinking about you, you know. Hope everything's going good. You and your daughter. Just want to check up on you. Love you. Take care. Bro, that really hit me. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. Like that text brightened my day.
Well, I'm kind of depressed because I never get those feedbacks. I'm not
I don't know if it was like,
I don't know what that was.
I don't know if he was like my angel or like God touched his heart. Him sent me a text. But, dude, it perfect timing. And, you know, and I told Josh, bro, you don't understand how I'm grateful and blessed that you sent that text because
we appreciate Pastor Josh here.
Amen. But yeah, you know, just speak and don't be afraid.
Yeah. And to be honest, like we understand that there's going to be some listeners that are probably not part of a religious, you know, organization.
It's not for.
I know, but let me finish on this one. The key message we're trying to bring here is not necessarily, you know, one outlet or the other. A lot of these examples are based off of our own experiences and whatnot, but the key message we really want to give out is go and reach out to your support group, whether it's your friends, your family, a coworker that you trust a lot. Like, just hang in there. Reach out to somebody that you trust and be vulnerable in front of them. Like,
reach out to a friend.
Yes.
Yeah. Therapy. I mean,
that too.
If you feel uncomfortable talking to your friends, I mean, therapy's there.
There's a lot of resources that pay for therapy.
Yes.
So if you're ever wondering, like, is this something that is available to me? I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it is. And don't be afraid to find out what that is, or even to just be like, hey, like being strong enough to say like, hey, I know I need therapy, but to be honest, I'm gonna tell you right now, it feels like a drag. I don't want to do it. Mm-hmm. I mean, half. Maybe that's a way that you ask for help. That's a way of asking for help. Tell your friends, be like, hey, I don't know, find me a resource, something.
Yeah, right. And to shout out some resources.
Yeah,
we actually have a few here. I mean, there's Movember, MOVEMBR.
Nice.
Heads up. What is it? Heads up, guys.
Yep.
That's a good one.
And NAMI.
NAMI.
I hope I'm pronouncing that right. That have all shown to be great outlets for men's mental health. And then, I mean, there's also the 988 Suicide Crisis Lifeline.
Yeah.
If you're going through something like that, right? So
yeah, if you need something immediately, I mean, just, you know, give them a call and I promise someone will be there.
They will
help.
be there to help. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And even journaling. I mean,
oh, bro,
I don't journal. Margarita's like kind of like push me like, hey, Beto, it's okay to journal. But, you know, I'm like, that might be something I pick up.
I'm not gonna lie. I used to think journaling was a little bitch thing. Like, I'm gonna just say it like that because, like,
it's fair. It's fair
like,
to say that.
because I know it was something that we had to do in school, like like practice writing and
Dear
stuff
diary.
like that. You know what I mean? But to me, journaling, it always came back to being like, oh, that's something that girls do, or that's something that, you know what I mean, that not you're a guy, you don't do that. But dude, journaling, putting stuff down on paper and actually like writing down your feelings,
Yeah.
is pretty powerful because
Yes.
because you're in one mindset as you're writing it down. You leave later down the road, you come back to that. You're like, whoa, where was I at?
Mhm.
I mean, why was I thinking that? I mean, you get to like really kind of just look back a little bit and understand. I mean, and kind of just recap some of that. It's so powerful. I mean, so to anybody that's not journaling, it doesn't have to be a whole paragraph. Don't feel like you have to write five sentences or more like they told you in school or something. Yeah, I mean, like just write down what you're feeling, and it doesn't have to be if it's not paper. It feels better on paper. I will say that. Find your notebook. It doesn't have to have a little lock on it. Just FYI.
with the little pink cover.
Yeah. It doesn't have to have the special key or you know what I mean, or the electronic code. Like, hey, bro, just literally just get a notepad, write down what you're feeling, and put it away. You know what I mean? Come back to it, write some more, and it can be as often as you want it to. It can be 3 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
It could be once a day. It could be once a week. Whatever makes you feel like you're actually expressing yourself and you're and allowing yourself to be vulnerable enough to let go of the things that you're holding on so hard to.
Yeah.
I mean, and because that's the whole purpose of it is writing down and letting go of the thing. And some of that stuff, it can get dark. I mean, it's okay. It can get funny. It's okay. I mean, you don't have to write down on the days that you're sad only. You can write down on the days that you're happy. You can write down on the days that are gloomy. You can write on the days that are sunny. Like, you're okay. Like, you're allowing yourself to feel. And I think that that's the most important part. Is that we all grew up not allowing ourselves to feel.
Yeah.
Because we were told that you need to not feel. I mean, and now that we have our kids and stuff like that, we're now coming into those places where, I mean, if you have your kids or if you don't, like literally just where life is today.
Yeah.
It tells you it's okay to feel.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't bottle it up. That is
Exactly.
what is messing us all up.
Yeah.
Is that you're keeping it inside, you're letting it claw at you, and you're allowing it to bring you down.
Yeah, when you let it out, sometimes it's too late.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't let it be too late. You know what I mean? And so like, you have to know that you're loved, you're appreciated, you're cared for. You know what I mean? And it's hard to see that when those things are just telling you otherwise. Those feelings, those thoughts, those mindsets, you know what I mean? It's tough, and we understand that. That's why there's help. And one of those ways is journaling. Listening to music. Oh, bro, music was big for me. So that's
A lot of people gaming.
yeah.
You know, I did see that.
Yeah.
I saw that in the research I was doing this week.
Yeah, gaming
And
is a huge
I've always told
thing.
Margarita, I'm like, she's like, why do you play so much? I'm like, I don't play a lot. I play a lot in a day, maybe. I'll
Yeah.
probably play like 4 or 5 hours. And she's like, but why? I'm like, I get like away from it. Like,
And if you're online with your friends,
yeah,
like
yeah.
to me, that's
people you feel
that's
comfortable
community.
around.
Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah. But there's not going to be judgment. I mean, yeah, we mess around a little bit.
Yeah, we
But-
might.
We vibing. We're gonna call it vibing, all right?
Yeah, we're but we know each other. Like
Yeah.
this, Al, I know he's very strong with his words sometimes. Because I'm like, bro, that hurt me.
Sometimes.
And he's like, hey, bro.
It's okay.
No, he does not say that. He tells me to go shut it, pretty much. And I'm like, bro. He's like, bro, it's tough love, man. And I get it. Like, I mean, I understand where he's coming from, but I've also seen like the vulnerability that he shared with me. You know, like we've had vulnerable moments together. Like he shared stuff with me, I shared stuff with him. But it's that confianza, that trust that I know I have someone I can go to. And I'm sure I can build that relationship if I haven't already with you guys, you know? And so it's important to, and that's what I was trying to get at. I tell Margarita, like, sometimes I just need to get away from it. And she takes it as you're getting away from me. I'm like, no, you're not the issue here. It's just me and my thoughts. Like I enjoy spending time with you. I do, but I need to get away from it. Like away from whatever's in my head. You know?
Yeah.
We can go walk. Yeah, it'll help me. We can go watch a movie. Great, but my mind's still processing something.
Yeah.
Still working.
Yeah, and I
feel like whenever you game, it just kind of all goes away.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I feel better after.
It's one of those things. It's like a decompression mechanism. So.
Yeah. But I mean, like, and to your point, like Margarita then feeling like, oh,
I'm the fucking
like,
problem.
Yeah. or like, or hold up, why am I not the fix? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't, the fix, it doesn't always have to be that one person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether it's your partner or your spouse or your best friend, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. Like, I understand you have those people for a reason.
Yeah.
They're very important in your life. Right. And that's amazing. You know what I mean? But it's not always going to be the main fix.
Yeah.
Like, so sometimes that connection or that copingness has to come from something else.
Yeah.
Exactly. Definitely not anything negative, right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Well, it has to be from multiple avenues because, like you said, it can't just be the fix. Whether it's spouse, partner, gaming, because even gaming as your only outlet can be a little dangerous.
Right.
So it's finding a medium of multiple things, not just one thing.
No, that's true. Because like with Margarita, I know what I can go. Like with Margarita, I love her to death. Like I can tell her I'm going through this. Like, you know, like certain things I can tell her, right? Because I know that she'll understand.
Yeah.
And I'll tell her, hey, can I speak my mind with no judgment? You know, and she knows she can do that. She can do the same with me because she does it all the time. I may not like it sometimes, like the things she got to say, and I'm like, well, hold on, maybe you're overthinking this, right? But I know that she's a great supporter, and she's like, hey, like, what are you feeling? You know, why do you think like that? And there's no judgment at the end of the day. She's like, okay, I get where you're coming from. You know, I see why you're thinking like that. I understand why you feel like that, and I think it's great. You know, but there's certain things where I feel like I just can't cope with it, like. Because she's gonna have, and it's not that her opinion's bad. It just might be that I don't want to hear anything, and I just want to get away from it.
Yeah,
and that helps me relax. And you know what? When I come back to the reality, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna take whatever stress I'm thinking about, the emotion that I'm thinking about, and just deal with it. Like when it comes, it comes. You know, and I feel a lot better now, like more at ease, pretty much. So you do have to have different outlets. You know?
Yeah.
And it's okay. Safe space.
Baby steps, bro. Baby steps.
But it's good. Everybody needs to find help.
Yeah.
I think that with the pressures of society, economic states,
so much is going around.
Political things
you
that
can't
happen.
keep up
You know
sometimes.
what I mean? Like it's a lot of stuff that's just flying in the air. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's more tough for some people than it is for others in different areas. Right? The things that affect me more may not affect others more. And sometimes that makes it hard for other people to understand.
Yeah.
That's why everybody just needs to stay kind. I mean, and be in a place that is that be in a mindset that is more acceptable and flexible to what people might be feeling. I mean, like we're too quick to judge.
So basically empathetic.
Yeah. Basically.
just to kind of summarize everything you just said.
You're beating around the bush too much. Just be empathetic.
No. I mean, in essence, just be
kind, bro. Yeah. Be open to be okay with being like, hey, look, that guy must have been having a bad day. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that what he did is okay or what she did is okay. I mean, but at the same time, we don't have to be so brutal.
You got to spread that positivity, bro.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Spread the positivity. You know, if you see someone down, just even a simple, hey, how are you doing? Could probably save someone's life.
Mm-hmm.
Or I hope you have a great day.
Yeah. But I mean, it is hard when you're going through it too. But it's always, I mean, I try to the best I can to like I see Alvaro, hey, what's up, man? Like if I didn't know him, I'd say, hey, what's up, man? Like we used to say hi to people all the time, like in the store, or people like we'd walk around at the field. Hey, what's up, man? Like people we didn't know, or like, hey, how's it going? You know, like we just at least try to be kind to someone. You know, because you don't know what they're going through. I might be going through something, but it helps me a little bit to kind of stay positive too, to be kind.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
you know, just having that, like I said, spreading that positivity coming from you to others. It's like there's something about that makes you feel good. You know.
Yeah, and obviously, like, if you're gonna give it out, right, be sure to allow yourself to put yourself in a position where you're intaking as well, right? You can't just give and never replenish. Yeah. You know what I mean, within yourself to be able to receive love.
Yeah.
I mean, or you know what I mean, whatever that intake is, whatever that avenue is. You know what I mean, like I said, for some it's gaming and community and or just being out with your friends, or to some people it's I'm gonna go and I'm gonna float for 3 days down the river, or backpack, or go hiking, or
for 3 days is wild.
Hey, bro, I know people like that. Yeah, no, that's true. I know people that are. I have a buddy. He's like, look, if I'm gonna be okay, I need to go.
Man, I need to go. He needs to connect with nature.
Yes, I need to go and I'm gonna backpack for 3 days, and I'll go and I'll come back. I'll be replenished.
Trick question. You know I tell you I'm gonna go floating for 3 days. You concerned or not?
No.
Wrong answer.
I'm gonna be concerned because I don't even think this fucker likes swimming.
You're scared of life.
No, you really got to know me. Me and waters do not mix. So if I tell you that, like, I don't mind swimming, right? But I've had injuries going to fish. So if I tell you I'm gonna go float for 3 days,
there's something wrong, bro. There is something wrong. You better call that motherfucker up.
So this was a test, Josh.
I didn't know that. No, I didn't know you didn't like coconut either, but whatever.
Man's going to say, Dear Diary, today I got a Sonic drink. I didn't like it, but I'd like to thank Josh for that.
Yeah. Very thoughtful.
Really is thoughtful.
That is pretty great. That's pretty great. Hey, but you know what? Like, sometimes what I'm really trying to say is, like, allow yourself to replenish. You got to do it. You got to do it. And it will allow you to come back stronger. It'll allow you to come back more level-headed. And it's health. It's self-love. It's healing. You know what I mean?
You know, you brought healing up. You think the hippies have a really good point with being like peace and love? And that's why so many of them are so, like, you know.
There's an extreme point to that.
Yeah, but they're like, most of them, like, obviously they share their feet. Because I have several friends that are pretty hippie.
Yeah.
And they're no problem with showing their emotions. And you can just tell they're just full of happiness, their life. Yeah. And they're okay with everything.
I can see that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
level-headed, yes. Yeah, but
I mean, apart from all the drugs they do, but
no, I mean, just because you're hippie doesn't mean that you're a drug addict. Yeah. That's the first part.
Yeah,
I think that's a stereotype against hippies.
But you know what I'm saying?
Or people who feel like hippie-ish.
They're so
open.
Yeah,
about
they're
things,
just and like that goes back to, like, you know, their mental health. Just have, like, at least like 7 out of 10. They're good. You know,
the world is burning. Those guys are like chilling.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because they got, like, I feel like they just express their feelings so much that they're just like, we're gonna be okay.
They're finding peace. Yeah. I mean, they're very, very spiritualized people. I feel like a lot of us are, but, like, I mean, whatever that is, whatever like, if whatever your religion is, you mean, or whatever your beliefs, your belief system is allowing you, is like, no disrespect, whatever you choose to believe, you know what I mean? But nonetheless, whatever that is allows you to
be at
to
peace.
be at peace
Yeah.
and have that
It's like a connection.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's completely okay.
All right. So a lot of things we learned, right? About men's mental health. Doesn't, like I said, doesn't care about your age, your money, or how manly you are. It affects all of us, right? And if we have any listeners today, which by the grace of God, I hope we do, we want you guys to take one thing away. You're not weak for feeling, right? You're strong for surviving. Yeah, that's how I think we kind of all see it. Because it takes a lot of courage to express yourself, and don't worry. I mean, there's a lot of people out here for you. And like we said, there's a lot of avenues that you can take. They're not friends. They're not family. There's outlets, organizations. You can call or text 988. That's completely confidential and free. Or you can check out the resources that we mentioned, Movember.com, headsupguys.org, or NAMI.org. Great organizations for men's health. And don't wait, it's the longer you wait, the more you're bottling up, but it's never too late to do it. Right. Like we all said, someone suggested it. If you're doing okay now, great, but check on others, check on your loved ones, your boys. You never know who's going through it. There are silent signs out there that we don't know, that just reaching out can help out a lot. Right. So thank you guys for listening. There's the Cuatro Pelados. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other.